Hey you guys, what's up? Today we're going to break down like a standing belly opener with ecstasy arms, and we'll move it into crescents from side to side, like little half moon crescents, and I'll show you what that looks like. So at the top of your mat, you can take your feet as wide as your hips, sometimes a little wider is nice. Can land in the paw of the foot, light springy heel. The toes can start to snuggle into the ground. And take a gentle bend into the knees and a slide of the hips back. Glutes wide, bounding up behind. Sweep your arms forward, connecting both hands behind the skull. The elbows hug forward and narrow, and this keeps the shoulder blades broadening, whereas if you take the shoulders out or the elbows out to the side, you start to close the shoulder blades on the back of your heart. So the elbows hug forward and narrow, and energetically resist wide. Head presses into the hand, lengthen through the neck. Allow this space to open up. Bend your knees forward, sit your hips back. Lengthen the belly, lift your heart up, big stretch. Sit back, sit deep. Pause, press down and out to the side. Lift through the heart, open your belly. Head presses into the hand, lengthen. Knees forward. Hips slide back. Rise through the heart. Open it up. And sit the hips back. Pause, press wide. Knees resist wide energetically. Lift through the center. Open your heart to the sky. Okay, so with that, we're tacking the hips back. So thinking about the hips anchoring back. And then the ribs are stretching up. You can think, I know it looks a little bit like I'm super arcing back because I'm quite curvy, but you don't need to be really pushing yourself back. The idea is to just like stretch up in length. So the ribs lift up away from the hips, and the head lifts up away from the heart, and the hips are rooting us, grounding us down and back. So one more time, hands behind the head. The thumbs can kind of meet the occipital lobe, and both hands can wrap on either side of the skull. Okay, elbows forward, head presses into the hand, lengthen through the neck. Allow your chin to tip just a little bit. Bend the knees forward, slide the hips back. As you do this, you can press the paws wide, so the toe pads and mounds resist wide to the side, and the knees energetically resist like you have hands on either side of the thighs, and so that you can try and connect into your glute medius here. So knees forward, hips back. Lift through the center, rise up. Stretch your belly away from your hips. Knees forward, hips back. Lift through the center, rise up. So we hold the fullness of our whole heart, all sides expanding wide. And in particular, we're really holding those low ribs, pushing out. And if you need to, bring awareness to the low ribs, because it took me a long time to have connection there. A good tool is to take your hands there and breathe into the back ribs, into the ribs that sit just above your lumbar spine. So it's like you're giving them a resistance into the hands as you breathe and widen into that space. That starts to bring the mind into the body. Okay, so that is a belly opener. These are called ecstasy arms. Elbows forward, head back, knees forward, slide the hips wide, rise through the center. Open into an inhale, sit back, exhale. Okay. So that is the belly opener. The crescent is like that as well. So the hands are behind the head. The head is pressing into the hands, lengthen through the neck. We've got our beautiful alignment here. The belly's long, the neck is long, the heart is full. Bend into the knees, slide the hips back. And it's like we're trying to like sit the hips back into a chair. Yeah, and then rise up, arc up and over towards a side. And to the left side for me, hips back, long belly, lift up, arc up and over. Sit back, rise into your arc. So we're stretching through the right side body. We want to keep the hollows in the groins and a gentle bend in the knee. The head continues to press into the hand, lengthening through the neck. Sit back, rise like a shooting rainbow, lift up. So we want to find the length, hold our central channel long, hips back, lift, arc up and over. Sometimes we'll take a hand down to the top of the thigh, sit back, push the thigh down, lift into your arc up and over. Sometimes we'll sit back, curl chin in, rounding through the upper back. And then sit back, soft belly, open it back up. The other side. I'll show it from the back so you can see all angles. Okay, so the knees bend forward and the hips glide back. Lift through the center, rise to arc up and over towards the right side. Knees forward, hips back. Lift, arc up and over. Head presses into the hands. The neck stays long and open. Rising energy like a shooting rainbow as we expand and widen through the left side ribs. The chin stays in alignment with the chest. Right hand to the top of the right thigh. Sit back, press the thigh down, hold space on the right as you rise and open into the left side. Sometimes we play here. Sometimes we sit back, curl in. Chin into the chest. Feel through the back of your heart. Breathe into that. And then slide your hips back. Allow the belly to soften and open yourself back up. So that's belly openers and crescents from side to side. You want to hold the length, don't crimp your tube. And yeah, the chin stays in alignment with the chest versus looking up towards the sky. And so that we're just like holding this big, beautiful open channel. Cool. I love you guys.